From soup and stuffed peppers to saucy rice bowls and crispy chimichangas, these dishes all start with the same old ground beef, but in new and exciting ways. I promise you, no spaghetti sauce and no meatballs. Let's get cooking. We'll start with these easy Korean beef bowls. This is that something different you're looking for to add into your weekly rotation. It's better, faster, easier, and cheaper than takeout. We'll start by browning our ground beef. Once it's browned, I'm gonna add in the ginger and garlic, along with a little drizzle of very flavorful sesame oil. That just cooks down for just a couple minutes till it's nice and fragrant, and then we're gonna create the sauce to make these extra saucy. That is going to consist of brown sugar, about 1/3 of a cup, and then about 1/2 of a cup of low sodium soy sauce. And then I'm also adding in a little bit of crushed red pepper to balance out that sweet. And then you're just gonna cook this for about 5 minutes until the sauce thickens up a little bit. Just finish it off by stirring in some green onions. I'm gonna stir some in and save some for the top. I'm just serving mine over like ready basmati rice. Start with your starch, put that delicious saucy beef on top, a little green onions. I'm gonna finish it off with a little bit of sesame seeds. And then I have to have, a little veggie in there, marinated cucumbers, kimchi. This is the perfect meal to get you out of that rut of doing the same old thing week after week. This one's packed with flavor. It's family friendly, it's easy to make. Dang, my kids are gonna love this. I've got the perfect dinner instead of tacos for your next Taco Tuesday. These beef and bean chimichangas are so good, and we are taking a little bit of a healthier spin by making these in the air fryer. These start out just like when we're making our taco meat, just by browning our ground beef. You go ahead and drain it and return it to the skillet. At this point, I'm gonna add in some chopped onion and bell pepper. Give that a stir, and then we're gonna add in some corn. I'm just using some frozen corn because that's what I've got. Once the veggies have cooked down a little bit, the onions become translucent and everything's kind of softened up a little bit. We're gonna season it up with a little bit of salt, garlic powder, chili powder, and cumin. Stir that around, and then finally, we're gonna make it super saucy by adding in just some jarred taco sauce. You want about 2 cups. Just let that cook down for a few minutes and the filling is done. This was the hardest part, and you saw how easy it is. Once the filling is prepared, it's time to put everything together. This is the perfect meal if you like to meal prep and get things out of the way. We'll start by spreading out some refried beans over the tortilla. Spread that on, and then a generous helping of our saucy beef. And then I just have a mixture of Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese. And then time to roll. I used to roll mini a burrito. Best way to do it is to first tuck in the sides and then use your thumb to pick up the bottom half of the tortilla and wrap it over the filling. Tuck in the rest under the filling and then just roll her up. Got a great little package. You're gonna place it seam side down. Once everything is made, we're just gonna brush them with a little melted butter. So I'm preheating my air fryer to 400, and we're gonna cook these for about 6 minutes or so until they're good, crispy, and golden brown all over. Here goes nothing. Look at this crispiness. I mean, you can see the crispiness. It's all about the sound test. Are you ready? I am gonna serve this up the restaurant way. Oh my gosh. Saucy in the middle, crunchy on the outside. These are just perfect to make ahead, keep in the freezer or the fridge, and just pull them out as you need them. This is a definite winner. It's all about that queso drizzled over the top. I like a little heat, so some fresh jalapeno, tomatoes, and then I serve it with all those fixins so that as you dig into this, you can have the perfect bite all around. 2 down, 3 to go. With all of these ground beef recipes, I promise you no spaghetti sauce and no meatballs. However, I'm still gonna deliver you some family-friendly, easy recipes, like this one right here, lasagna soup. Now you can do this on the stove and it's still gonna take a short amount of time. However, it's gonna be even shorter because we're making it in the Instant Pot. We're gonna start by browning our ground beef along with some Italian sausage. While the meat browns, I'm gonna chop up my onion and garlic. When it's about 80 to 90% done, I'll go ahead and throw in my onion and garlic. If you're a fan of spinach lasagna, spinach will be another great ingredient to toss in at the end. Can't see me in the smoke. Once that's ready to go and the onion has become a little translucent, you're gonna deglaze and add in the whole container of chicken stock or chicken broth. Just use your spoon to scrape up any bits that might have stuck to the bottom, and then go in with your marinara sauce. Now we'll just check for seasoning and add in a little salt and pepper. And then finally, we're gonna break in about 8 lasagna noodles into the soup, put the lid on, and pressure cook it for only 3 minutes. That was fast. With the noodles cooking into the soup like that, it almost exudes a little bit of creaminess from the starch. To serve it up, I'm gonna top it with a little sprinkle of fresh parsley. You could also do basil, and then some grated cheese. And of course, gotta get that perfect bite. It is so rich and comforting. You normally wouldn't think you could get such comforting, slow-cooked flavor in such a short amount of time. This is a good one. Next up is one of my favorite dishes of all time, Baked Kibbeh. This is a Middle Eastern specialty that I love, and if you're like, what the heck is that? You need to know, and I'm gonna show you right now. First thing you'll do is take your bulgur and put it in a bowl, about a cup, and then enough water to cover that's boiling. Pour it right over the top and let it absorb. It only takes a few minutes and then it's ready to go. If there's any excess liquid left in there, just drain it out. You want it as dry as possible. I encourage you to stop by a Middle Eastern ethnic market if you have one in your town, because the experience is just lovely and you'll get these kind of products for like super cheap. And to let it cool off before we mix it in, I'm just gonna lay it out on a plate or a sheet tray. It's kind of lined with paper towels. That'll soak up any extra. While that happens, I'm gonna combine my ground beef and then some finely chopped onion. All right, once you've got your beef and onion in the bowl, it's time to spice it up. I'm going in with some allspice. About half a teaspoon maybe. About a 1/4 teaspoon or so of cumin, and then just a pinch of cinnamon, and then a good amount of salt and pepper. All right, we'll mix that in, and then we're also going to mix in, of course, that bulgur. All right, and then we are just going to simply put it in a baking dish. I like to put down some olive oil into the bottom so nothing sticks. We're gonna lay down about half the mixture, and then we're gonna sprinkle some pine nuts in between, and then top it with the rest. Almost done, but not quite. The next crucial step is very traditional. We're just gonna score marks in it in the shape of a diamond. This just not only looks aesthetically pleasing, but it enables everything to kind of seep through those crevices, kind of get crusty around all the sides. It also makes it easier for serving. I finish it off with a little drizzle of olive oil, especially kind of getting into those little crevices. And then just a few more pine nuts on top just to make it pretty. This is going in at 350 degrees till it's all golden brown on top and cooked through in the middle. Look at this. Delicious kibbeh. Do you see the goodness that I'm talking about? Y'all, there is so much flavor going on right here. It's worth the little stop to the Middle Eastern market to get things to go with it. Especially worth the trip is this labna, which is a yogurt that is super, super thick. And to that, I just mixed in a grated clove of garlic, a little bit of cucumber, chopped fresh mint, a squeeze of lemon, salt, and pepper. And I'm gonna show you how I like to build the perfect bite, but if I was making this for my family, this is exactly the way I would serve it up. This calls for wine. It's just one of those meals. If you're gonna do it right. First time I ever had baked kibbeh was at a friend's house in middle school. This was like an after-school snack. It was like warm pita straight out of the oven. So good. Kind of nailed that, y'all. Kind of nailed it. Just like to put it into that super thin pita. A little spoonful of our sauce. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. This might be the best thing I have made in a long time. It is a good day in the office. Just saying. What would a ground beef episode be without this throwback? Stuffed peppers. This is one of our most popular recipes, and I've got to show you how to make it. And all you're gonna do is wash them and cut the very top off, and then just run your knife along the inside, and then just reach in and pull out all the seeds. And you'll just grab your baking dish and set them with the open side up, kind of snuggled up next to each other. And that's easy. Now we make the filling. The filling, of course, starts with ground beef that I have just browned up in a skillet, drained, added to a bowl. To that, I'm going to add my rice. To flavor our filling, we're gonna add in half of our can of tomato sauce, onion powder, garlic powder, Worcestershire, salt and pepper. Just give that a stir. And you're just gonna divide the filling among the peppers. I sort of like to pack it in and pack it down in there. And for the final step, I'm going to take the rest of that tomato sauce, add in some extra Italian seasoning, and then just pour it directly over the top. And I'm just gonna bake these at 350 degrees for about an hour or until the peppers are nice and tender. I changed my mind and I can't resist. These look and smell amazing. They are almost done, probably about 10 minutes left. So I'm just gonna top them with a little cheese. Here they are in all of their retro glory. Every bite is gonna be the perfect bite. You'll have to kind of, mess up the pretty package, but in every bite you should get some pepper as kind of the main little vessel for that delicious, ricey, meaty topping. Here we go. Sometimes it's just worth it to stick to those old school recipes. I think we've done it. Burgers and tacos are great, but I hope you'll be inspired next time you pull out that ground beef to try one of these new recipes. And when you do, be sure and tag me. I'm here teaching you can cook that twice a week, so let me know in the comments what you want me to teach you how to make next. See you next time. Dang, I didn't know that cabinet was open the whole time. So I guess I'm just gonna do all that again.